So I talk a lot about energy medicine, healing of the energy channels, why that's so good for you, and healing your chronic illness, healing your heart. But today I thought it would be helpful to share a little bit about my experience, what it feels like to experience yourself as an energetic being. And so I wanted to share a story about really my whole experience and exposure to energy medicine, to feeling myself as an energetic being. And it goes way back. It goes way back to, I believe the year was 2002, 2001 or 2002. And I, it's really interesting. So I lived in a barn with my wife, who wasn't my wife at the time, was my girlfriend. And we lived in this barn in the country. We had literally pigs and cows underneath us. The floorboards there was gaps so you could see through and see the animals, and in the walls too, there was gaps there where you could see outside. And we used to take baling twine from the hay bales and take a screwdriver and try to insulate as best we could those gaps. It was so cold. I remember some of our college friends coming to visit us, and they literally were like, "Have you guys gone mad? Like, what are you doing living in this freezing cold barn?" But we were having the best time. It just felt like after college, where we had lived so much in academia up to undergrad, both my wife and I were competitive athletes in our younger years. We just totally wanted to unplug. And this was even before phones and all that. So we just wanted to go complete country. And that's what we did. And it was fantastic. We had an amazing time just getting close to our food, getting close to the soil, the animals, the whole lifestyle. I don't regret it at all, and highly recommend it if you're someone that hasn't lived close to the earth in that way. Give it a try. So that was kind of the energy I was in every day. I was every day doing outside, spending lots of time in nature. Like most of my day was in nature, either snowshoeing, trekking, climbing trees, foraging, just having so much time in nature that I literally started to feel like my vibration and my energy was changing. So we had a P.O. box address, but somehow my name got put on this list that sent this mass marketing thing of a video, a VHS. I'm dating myself, one of those VHS tapes. And it was sent to our neighbor down the street, and it had my name on it. And I was like, interesting. And so I borrowed a TV set from my mother and a VHS player and put it in. And it was this young Chinese gentleman doing this art of Qigong that I didn't know. And he was like helping people heal with cancer, arthritis, heart disease, you name it. And he just had such a pleasant energy, very kind heart, that I decided to start studying it. And it was a study course. And those of you who might remember, it was this company called Learning Strategies. And they had this course with in association with Spring Forest Qigong. So I bought the course, and immediately I was just feeling a lot of energy in my hands. I was like, my eyes, when I was closed, I was seeing colors. It was just so vivid. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I started to feel this kind of surge start build up inside me. I didn't know what it was. It felt actually quite uncomfortable, but all I can remember is like my body just felt so different. It felt, maybe because I had been so conditioned to feeling my body through the mechanism of sports and athletics, that I hadn't felt my body too much, or at least explored too much what it could feel like in a different context. And it felt very free and open and expansive, and at the same time really heavy and dense and almost difficult, like I was like mummified to some degree. I used to joke, I felt like I was like Han Solo when he got frozen in Star Wars. It felt kind of strange, and yet at the same time, like, okay, comfortable. So anyway, it kept going, and then next day they decided to do a meditation, and we were to fast all that day, and so we fasted, and then that evening we were going to do a meditation. We were going to start at 7 p.m. And so began the meditation, and about not too long into it, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes in, I start getting this very uncomfortable sensation. It's like my whole right side of my body just starts going numb. Not like kind of tingly numb, like numb. Like I can't feel it. And not only can I not feel it, but it feels very dense and heavy. And I'm like, what is this? So I just keep going with it. I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes, the sensation just became like overwhelming. But I'm still staying with it. Then something really interesting happens. All of a sudden, mind you, my eyes are closed. So I'm in the darkness of my inner world, and all of a sudden it feels like my body just like a tilt-a-whirl, just goes like this, upside down. So my head's down here, my feet are up here. The strangest experience. But then it gets even stranger. As I'm upside down, I start spinning, like I'm on a ride. And it is so unbelievably, almost unbearable. And at one point, I thought I was going to vomit. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I opened my eyes, thinking and feeling like I'm upside down, spinning. But I open my eyes, and I'm just sitting there. So strange. And then I close my eyes again. Couple minutes into it, same thing happens. Anyway, about maybe doing hour and 15 minutes of this, maybe a little longer, I just am like, yo, I don't know what this stuff is. This is crazy. Like, I'm getting up, and at that point, yeah, it was like 8:30 or something. I'm like, I'm going to bed. So we were in this kind of monastery with old dormitories. I head back to my room where I had a roommate, but they were obviously in the meditation. I fall asleep. I get up, and I'm asleep for like till about like 1 a.m. And I get up with still this kind of curiosity. It's like the energy was still alive and moving through me. And my curiosity takes me down back to the meditation hall. And I go in, and maybe like a tenth of the individuals that had started at 7 were still there meditating. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 6 to 7 hours in meditation. And they were just as still as a Buddha posture. I'm like, man, what is going on here? This is something totally different than I thought it was. I thought this was just like some relaxing therapeutic movements. This is some deep shit. Anyway, I sit down, but I don't sit in the same spot because I'm a little bit scared. I sit like off to the side. And again, that same sensation happens, but this time my whole right side, I get pulled down to the ground, to the floor, and I start shaking. And literally it was like thumper, like like that. At this point, I'm completely freaked out. I didn't know what was happening. And Anyway, after that experience, I get up. No one bats an eye. They're all in their meditation. Like, this is 100% normal. To me, this was completely out of this world. Like, what's going on? Go back to bed. Thankfully, I sleep. I wake up the next morning for the next session. It was a Q&A, and I had to pull the teacher aside and be like, what is going on in me? And he just had this big old smile and just like, just be okay, be at peace with what's happening to you. And that was the beginning of my energy body waking up. I didn't know at that time what was happening. To be honest, it freaked the hell out of me. So much that I ended up enrolling in acupuncture school later that year because I was just so fascinated by this chi, this energy. What is going on? I wanted to study it. I wanted to understand it. But notice I wanted to study it from my intellect because my fear around that situation was rising. Maybe if I was mature enough at that time, maybe if there was a little more guidance, I would have realized, no, you just have to sit with this longer and be with it. But I didn't know. So long story short, I ended up getting my master's degree, studying acupuncture, Chinese medicine, Chinese herbs, energy medicine, getting a real clear sense of it from my intellect, but not from my felt sense experience. After 4 or 5 years of that, my curiosity to go back into that experience again, or something like that. I wasn't holding on to the attachment to have that same experience again. So I end up going back to a different event and similar things happen. A little different, but this time I'm more open to it. And as I'm more open to it, this center in the center of my chest, my heart, started to open up more and more. And at first it kind of felt like I was having a heart attack. I remember feeling like, oh God, I can't breathe. It was so heavy. It was so tense. And with some guidance of some elderly wisdom, some friends on the path helped me realize it's okay. Just go through it. Just be with it. Befriend that pain that's there. And as I did, just energy layers started to open, my heart opened, my third eye opened, everything started to open up. And I started to fully experience what it was like to be an energetic being, living in this human body. I felt fully connected to my spirit, my soul. I felt really alive and well. That was the beginning of my energetic understanding of what we really are. Interestingly enough, it wasn't until years later I got horribly sick, chronically sick, not knowing what had happened to me. But I had enough faith and confidence from my previous experience of feeling myself as energy, as being energy, as witnessing the light that I am. I was able to confidently know that I could heal myself regardless of whatever case came up, because all I had to do was continue to get in touch with that me that is energy, to have a conversation with that again and again. And as I did, I started again to heal, to open my energy centers up bigger, to open up my energy channels more. And interestingly enough, that has been my journey, guys, has been this expansive quality and then contraction in my physical health and my wellness, and then another expansion and then back to contraction. Now, thankfully enough, as the contraction happens, I don't get as sick as I was before. I don't get as debilitated as I was before. But now it's kind of like I'll have a few days where I'm unable to sleep and my energy just feels less grounded, less, maybe a little depleted. And now I have the tools that I need. I have the resources, mostly from here and here, to know how to walk through these experiences. Now, for some of you, you might be listening to this and being like, I have no idea what this dude's talking about. Like, I've never had any experience of that. That's okay. I don't expect a lot of you to relate to this. But those of you that have experiences like this, you know what I'm talking about. You know how it can just go batshit crazy. You're on this crazy roller coaster ride. Your energy's surging in one way and another, and then your body's doing something different, and it can get really confusing. It can get really scary. But what I want you to know leaving this is, yes, you are an energetic being. And through the process that I've been sharing here in this group, in this channel, that you develop a literacy, a confidence in yourself, that you know yourself more than just a body, that you know yourself as pure energy. And that energy is, in truth, really affected by how we think and how we feel. Some of that is conscious, a lot of it is unconscious. For a lot of me, I was dealing with a lot of unconscious things from, you could say, my karma from previous life, from my family lineage. There was a lot there for me to deal with. Just pausing because sometimes it's good to just feel what's there. And I just had this sudden, I don't know, just wave of energy move through me that reminded me of those times when I was in a place of no hope, and there weren't a lot of answers. There weren't a lot of videos on YouTube talking about this. And really my hope is that this video, this channel can provide more hope for you, can provide more peace of mind, that you're not crazy, you're not, this isn't all in your head, you're not fucked up, you're not broken, that what you just need is a right system to help you integrate what is going on in your energy. And you can do that with just some basic things you do every day that I like to share and teach in my free community, my school community called You Are the Medicine. There'll be a link in the description below or in the comments where you can join for free. But what I've experienced, guys, is that as we open up more and more to this realization that we are energy, and our consciousness is really what facilitates how that energy moves through the whole field you are, this body. And the more and more you can get into these messages of constriction, of disbelief, of limited feelings and beliefs about who and what you are, the more you can heal. You can heal you, and you can heal your energy, and you can heal all that you're connected to, all you're in relationship to. That is one of the best results as you do this work, because I know sometimes it can feel very daunting, overwhelming. Gosh, like, I can't do this. This is too much. I'm exhausted, fatigued, overwhelmed. You just go one step at a time, one breath at a time, until you can start to feel yourself centered, yourself in a more expanded mind, and allow your consciousness to soak in that. So you remember that you are that peace, you are that light, you are that immense being that vibrates throughout these different frequencies in your human experience. And that is what you are supposed to do. That is why you are here. That is why I'm here. We're here to play the game of life, to experience all those different things. So just do it fully. And give yourself a lot of mercy. Give yourself a lot of patience. Be patient with yourself, because this is a journey. I thank you for listening in, those of you tuning in this all this way. Appreciate your sponsorship. I appreciate your, support and respect in me to be here. And if you feel so inclined, I would love it if you could support this channel by subscribing, hitting that thumbs up. That makes a huge difference for me, and it makes a huge difference for those people that really need this message, of hope, that they can do it. In order to do that, I need your help, because I don't get a lot of views. I don't get a lot of help by the algorithm here in YouTube. So the more you can like this, the more you can subscribe, the more you can share and comment down below. I'd love to hear your experience. And I'll see you in the next video. Take good care, everyone. Be blessed.